Good morning. Hi, I hope everybody has had a wonderful New Year's experience. It is 6:30, well, almost 6:30 here in Lakeland, Florida, and it's still dark outside, so that's why it's a little dark in here. But I just wanted to welcome you to 2019. Thank you for joining me. And I just want to delve into where we're going from here. So the end of last year, 2018, was a time to be able to reflect on what's happened through the year, what you achieved, what maybe you didn't get done last year, maybe people that were in your life, maybe people that you've lost. I've got so many friends, and it's so sad, so many friends who have lost children this last year, and it just breaks my heart because I do not know how I would be able to survive if anything happened to one of my daughters or my grandchildren. And I thank you, Lord. I thank you, Lord, that I haven't had to suffer that pain. But so anyway, my heart goes out to them, and I just pray that this year will help them to heal. I know you never will completely get over losing a child, and they will always stay with you, but hopefully they will find life and the will to live and make the best of the rest of their life and do it in honor of their loved one. Anyway, so, well, today is, like I said, January the 2nd, 2019. Welcome. And I thought that this is a wonderful opportunity to focus on 2019. Where are we going? What kind of what goals and achievements do you look forward to taking on this year? And a good way to do that is to start your year off by we do a fast. We do a fast and prayer. I know our church orchestrates a corporate fast. They just encourage all the members to they do a 14-day fast. Just to help to refocus and realign. I mean, we spent just purely for physical benefits. You spent the last almost 2 months probably eating food that was not the best for you, drinking, eating lots of sugary foods, lots of fatty foods, a lot of unhealthy things, partying. You got off track as far as your goals and stuff because we're always busy partying, and we kind of everything kind of goes by the wayside during the holidays. So January is an awesome time to reset your physical body, to reset your mental, your mind, and reset your spiritual alignment. So fasting and prayer is a way to align yourself back, connect to the divine source, which in my case is Jesus, and my mind, my body, and my spirit all in alignment. And we're going that way we can set strong intentions for this coming up year. So anyway, there's different kinds of fast. There's fasts that are intermittent, where you might just not eat for like 12 hours, in a given day, or you'll skip a meal, or there's other fasts where they 1 day a week they will let your body rest so that it can process and it can digest and it can eliminate those all the junk that you put in your body. There's partial fasts where you eat healthy foods and you eliminate your sugars and different unhealthy foods and stuff. There is total fast where you don't eat anything for a period of time, and you can drink water, but that would be something that you would need to talk to your doctor about before you even tried to do that, especially for any length of time. There's other kind of fasts, like you can fast social media. Oh, imagine that. Imagine that. Oh, there'll be a lot of grumpy people that can get on social media. Yeah, that might be me too. But anyway, you can social media, you can fast TV, anything that is something that you basically are addicted to, and it would be a sacrifice. So what we're trying to do is to basically get our bodies and our minds in alignment, kind of. So the benefits of fasting for your body is that it can increase your metabolism. You stop eating and you let your body rest, and your metabolism will increase, your insulin levels will normalize, your immune system, it will charge your immune system, and just different things. I had a list. I was pulling up the benefits of fasting. Obviously, you can lose those extra pounds that you put on during the holidays. That's always a good benefit. You can, let's see, it shifts stem cells from dormant state into a state of renewal. So you're renewing your cells and your organs. It also it will help with breaking down and recycling old dead cells. So you're detoxing your body. You're removing those that waste and those cells that are no longer useful. So that's going. Let's see. Lowers inflammation. Improves your pancreas function, which is your insulin levels and your those things. It helps with cardiovascular disease. It reduces blood pressure. So many things. Improves your metabolic efficiency, your body composition. It helps reduce cholesterol, and anyway, so it's so many things. Definitely improves your immune system. So I would highly encourage you to consider fasting. I mean, that's just physical. That's just physical benefits, and that's just the beginning, because we are three triune being. We are spirit, soul, and body. Our spirit is connected to the divine. Our soul is your mind, your will, your emotions. And your physical body, obviously, is the house that you live in. So we want all of them to be aligned. We want all of them to be healthy and detoxed and focused. So that is a lot of the physical benefits. And there's much more. I'm just kind of going over the surface here. Mentally, when you put your physical body, you discipline it, then you can hear, it helps to create clarity in your thinking. I don't know if you know, I mean, like, if you have low blood sugar, your body goes into low blood sugar. How many people get anxious? I mean, people get irritable. Your physical body actually causes your mental disruptions. So what you do is you can go through a fast. I mean, like, if you are diabetic or if you have health issues, you definitely need to check with your doctor. I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you what to do, but just personally, I know. I get past that, when I first fast, we're all like really hungry and stuff. And then once you get past that, then you start getting clarity. You get clarity. Your emotions aren't going up and down, because your physical body, basically, you're like crucifying the physical body. You're making it, subservient to your mind and your spirit. So once you do that, then you start having a lot more clarity in your thinking. And when you have clarity in your thinking, then you're able to hear the spirit much clearer. So, but ultimately what you want is not just to abstain from food. You want to be praying. You want to be listening to the Spirit. You want to be writing down what He's telling you. He will tell you what your next moves are, where you're going in the future. But you have to be able to hear it. So you have to, shut the physical body up and listen with your mind and hear your spirit. So anyway, this is an awesome way to be able to set your intentions for this coming up year. Knowing you're on the path, you're aligned with your source. So, okay, who fasts and prays? A lot of people. There's a lot of faiths that support fasting and praying. Even people who don't particularly have a faith. Fasting and intentions, setting intentions. Really, prayer, that's all it is. is lining your intentions up with your spiritual father. So you're setting an intention, what you want this year, and you want to be in alignment with, your purpose. So a lot of people do that. A lot of faiths support fasting and prayer. A lot of doctors, like your holistic doctors, natural doctors, they support fasting and praying, and because it is so beneficial for your physical body, your mind, and your spirit. And why should we fast? Or pray? Because we want to fulfill the purposes for our lives this year. We want to make sure that we don't spend another year feeling like we have not accomplished anything. And because every person, I believe, and in my faith, we believe that every person has been given a gift, has given a purpose, been given assignments to fulfill in their life. And if you go your whole life and you don't fulfill your purpose, that can be very empty. It can make you feel very empty. And that's why I believe depression, the pharmaceutical companies will tell you the reason why you have depression is because you have chemical imbalance. I believe you have chemical imbalances because your thoughts are not lined up, because you're thinking, because every thought that you create, every thought that you think creates a chemical, and it affects your body. So if you've got your mind on things that are not beneficial, they're depressing, you're thinking on, what you can't do, you're thinking on what you don't have, you're thinking on negativity, you're actually creating chemicals in your brain that is affecting your body. So I believe it's the other way around. I don't think that it's because you need to go take a pill to get your chemicals in alignment. I think you need to get your brain, your mind, your thoughts in alignment with the way they're supposed to be, positive, thinking positive and creative, and then it will adjust your chemicals in your body. So like all you have to do is step outside into the sunshine, and see in a few minutes in the sunshine, your moods, your serotonin, all these chemicals will change, because because it will change your thinking. If you go out in the sunshine, it's hard to stay depressed when you're out in the sunshine. But when you're sitting in the dark, you're sitting and, you're sitting in front of a TV in a dark room, you're watching movies that maybe not very positive. I mean, a lot of these very scary horror movies, and that's a whole nother podcast or blog. But when you're sitting there watching that, your subconscious cannot determine what is real and what is not real. Your subconscious will take all this information that gets past your conscious and take it as fact. So if you're sitting there watching scary movies, horror movies, you're watching, kill 'em movies, all these things, your subconscious is taking it as fact. So you are just bathing your subconscious in negativity, fear-based images. And then you fall asleep. The worst time to be listening to that kind of stuff is when your brain is in that state between conscious and asleep, because that is when you are programming your brain. So if you're sitting there watching TV, your subconscious is on full blast. It is fully absorbing what you're taking, because when you can be conscious watching something, but all these sounds are getting past that into your brain, and it is creating memories inside your brain, inside your subconscious, inside your cells, and it is creating chemicals, and it is creating thoughts, and it's creating belief systems. And then when you go try to operate in the world, you have this operating system working in the background, just like your computer. You can have you ever been on your cell phone and you've got these things operating in the background, and they're sucking out the energy. They're sucking up the energy in your phone. Well, that is what these negative beliefs that have been programmed into your brain is doing. And then when you react a certain way to a situation and you don't understand why, it's because some negative programming has been done in your subconscious. Anyway, I know we're on fasting, but this is a very important thing to me, because I know a lot of parents and people close to me their kids, they're sitting there watching horror flicks and watching these very negative, very gruesome movies, and their children, who are always in the beta state or the alpha state, whatever the state is, where it's basically they're a sponge. They're sitting in the background absorbing all this negativity, all this fear-based stuff. They don't have the conscious filter that we adults have. So they're completely absorbing this as reality. So then they grow up and they have fears that you don't understand. They have aggressions that you don't understand. They're acting out in certain ways that you don't understand. And if you thought about it, it could be all those programs that are being programmed into their subconscious before the age of 7, and now they're reacting as they get older. They're reacting, they're having unhealthy reactions to situations because of things that were programmed into their subconscious when they were a very young child. Very young, like from baby, like even before baby. There's some science that believes that in utero they can absorb this negativity because they're a sponge. They're just sucking up all that information. They have no filter to say what is real and what's not real, and it's just being sucked in. I mean, we adults can do the same thing if we sit there and we're watching TV before we go to bed, and we're in that state where we absorb it and it doesn't get filtered through the conscious. Then we are basically brainwashing ourselves. And then we sleep on it, and then it gets hardwired into our system. So then when we have a bad week, we don't understand why. It could be some of those subconscious things that have been planted while we were sitting there watching TV, or we were doing something and things were being downloaded into our subconscious. Anyway, so how can fasting help with that? Well, fasting and prayer can help us undo that, because I believe that when you fast, you detox cells. You detox cells. That's why a lot of times when you're going through fasting, you will have all sorts of mood swings. You will go through what they're learning now is memories are stored in your cells. They are downloaded into your cells. And not just a brain, you don't have memories, because they did experiments where they took the portion of the brain that they thought that holds our memories, and the person, or I don't know, it was the animal, rat, or whatever, was still reacting to memories, and they didn't even have the use of that portion of the brain that they thought held the memories. So what they learned is that memories are stored in your cells at the cellular level all over your body. So as you fast and your body is cleaning out those cells, those emotions and those chemicals, because like I said, every thought, every belief creates a chemical, and it's stored into your cells, are released, and you're detoxing. So you might go through mood swings. You might remember things that you forgot about during these fasts. But this is all good, because you are getting that out of your system. You're getting it out. You're cleaning your body. You're cleaning your mind. And you're getting your spirit lined up with the Father. And so that's why I encourage fasting and praying. Praying is intention. Father God, I want my will to be lined up with your will. And this year I want to do this. Lord, help me to do this or that. I think that the ideas, the creative ideas that you come up with have been downloaded by God. So when you say, okay, I've got this idea, Lord, help me to, because he gives you the desires of your heart. Well, he put the desire in your heart to begin with. So he wants you to come to him and line up so that you can fulfill this in your life. So that's why I believe prayer and fasting, especially the beginning of the year, is an awesome thing to do. So that's why we fast. We fast so that we can line up our mind, will, and emotions and our body in intention to succeed for the next year. Okay, so there's one famous person who fasted, and we are still seeing the effects of that fasting to this day. And I bet you could guess who it was. Because Jesus spent 40 days and 40 nights fasting in the desert. That was when he was tempted by Satan to basically hand over. Satan was trying to tempt him with things that he already had. How could he did that? Because Jesus was in a weakened state, because he hadn't eaten. He did a total fast. But he was doing this to prepare himself, because he was aligning himself up with the Father's will, mind, body, and spirit, to go into his ministry. This fast is what propelled him to move forward in his calling, in his ministry for the next 3.5 years. So he fasted, and we still to this day are receiving the benefits of his discipleship of fasting and praying in the desert, in the wilderness. So it's kind of interesting, and the Lord showed me last night that it was food that brought humanity down to their knees. And in the garden, where Adam and Eve, they ate the wrong food. And then it was Jesus who abstained from food to bring us back into alignment with the Father. So it was food. Adam and Eve, mankind, they came out of alignment with the Father through food, and Jesus, through fasting, got us back into alignment with the Father. So I just thought that was really cool. So anyway, so Jesus, he fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, and that was what propelled him into his ministry. There's many fasts, like I said. You can fast types of foods. You can fast one meal. You can fast, social media. You can do all this sort of stuff too. But you need to just pray and ask God where He wants you to fast at. But I showed you different that healthy ways of fasting. Fasting foods can be beneficial for your body, your spirit, and your mind. So. And the fast that is one of the most common fasts is the Daniel's fast. Now, the Daniel's fast comes from the Bible. It comes from the book of Daniel, and it's where Daniel and his three friends, his three friends, they were all given names, Chaldean names, because what happened is when a king would overcome another area, they would bring them into their kingdom, and they would want to disconnect them from anything that had to do with their original home. Like the Israelites, they wanted to take them out of there, and they want to change everything about who they were. They changed their names, they changed their diet habits, they changed everything that related them to where they had come from before, so that they would be in alignment with the kingdom, their kingdom. But Daniel, they refused to eat the foods of Nebuchadnezzar, King Nebuchadnezzar. They refused to, because they did not want to dishonor God. And there's a lot of the foods that God said not to eat. And so Daniel, he refused to do it. Now the king's servants were worried, because we're supposed to be taking care of these guys, and if something happens to them and they don't eat and they starve or whatever, then we're going to be held responsible. So they were concerned. So the guards, Daniel made a deal with the guards. They said, give us 10 days, test us for 10 days, and if we are not healthier and stronger at the end of the 10 days, then they will, go ahead and eat the king's foods. So the guards agreed. They said, okay, we'll give you 10 days, you test. So Daniel and his friends, they only ate, they ate grains, they ate vegetables, they ate seeds and nuts, and they had water. They did not eat any of the meats, especially the meats that were given over to idols. They did not eat, the wine and all the different things that the king's, the royal food was available. But after 10 days, the guards came and looked, and Daniel and his men, his friends, were stronger and healthier and physically and mentally more fit than the others. So they agreed to allow him to continue to eat and eat the way that he wanted to. So that is where the Daniel's fast comes from. So a lot of Christians, a lot of churches and people, they choose to go ahead and use the Daniel's fast. And actually, I think modern science has actually confirmed that the Daniel's fast is very healthy, because it does eliminate a lot of processed foods, a lot of heavy meats and saturated fats, and all these things that are have been shown to not be so healthy on the body. So so I encourage that, Daniel's fast. You can find anywhere. There's Dr. Axe. He's great. He's got a whole page on the Daniel's fast, how it's good for your body, what it is, what you don't eat, what you can't eat, and all that stuff. So I would encourage you to go to Dr. Axe and look up the Daniel's fast on his page. So anyway, just personally, when I have made a conscious choice to fast and pray in the beginning of the year, I have definitely had breakthroughs in my life. Whenever I feel like there is things that are happening in my life and I feel like I can't get this, something is blocking my ability to get through this obstacle or this block or whatever, when I have fasted and I've prayed, answers have come to me, doors have opened. And so I just know personally that fasting and prayer does work, especially in the beginning of the year, because when you set aside, you're prioritizing your life. You're like, okay, Lord, I'm putting you first, and I'm going to set aside this time in the beginning of the year, and put you first, and seek your wisdom, seek your intention for my life. And so, I mean, it's not like we're going to be perfect. If you fall off of it, don't worry. Don't condemn yourself, because Jesus came so that we would not be condemned. So don't condemn yourself. Just get back on. It's no big deal. Say, I'm sorry. Okay, next. So but I'm going to do it for, I think our church is doing it for January 7th through the 14th. So we're doing it for the 20th. So we're doing it for 14 days. Some people do it for 3 days. Some people will do it for a week. Some people will do it for 40 days. So just, just say, God, what do you want me to do? But anything is better than nothing. I think if you fasted one meal a day for the next month, God will honor that and He will help you. But you just need to do what you're led to do, and He will honor what you do. So I just encourage you, if you want to join me, let me know how things are going, and send me some comments. Let me know what you're doing. If you're going to join me, that'd be awesome, because I like to see everybody's testimonies. I like to see what God's doing in your life. And anyway, so this is going to be an awesome year. I'm going to set the tone for this year by prioritizing this time, seeking His face, seeking His wisdom, and hopefully I can line up mine with Him, and then we will go full steam ahead. Anyway, thank you very much for spending time to join me here this morning, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow or the next time. You have a wonderful day, and Happy New Year, and I love you guys. Bye-bye.